be the only ban. Another one will come. In the pretext of corruption, theft, what, all those kind of things will come. But we serve a living God. We serve a living God, and we will always not allow bumshafters in Uganda. If they want to do, let them do in their bedrooms, not in public. The law is there, it will be implemented. Let whoever feels the heart, let them go ahead. Me, I don't need to go here. I have said I have a passport, permanent passport, to BUKEDEA and to Buyende. I don't need a visa. So, honorable members, you need to be very firm and fight for your people. Just imagine it is your kid who is being sodomized tomorrow. But I am telling you, those sanctions, I have had an interaction, and we've gotten to know all what the sanctions are about, which the Minister of Foreign Affairs is here, and at an appropriate time, the head of state will also respond to it, because that is an indictment to Parliament of Uganda. You did pass the law yourselves. Me, I didn't even vote. I chaired, and you voted. So, I am not worried. And if they feel I have property, go and freeze them and see if I will complain. Even a postcard you can. I would like to categorically tell you that international backlash will continue. But one thing we need to do is to have respect for each other, respect for people's values, the traditions, the cultures of countries. We're a sovereign country. And those who are writing reports are writing reports because they want to do accountability. They want to do accountability. I have not said enough. I have not said it. She did not. I will one day allow you people to start boxing. Honorable members, we need to safeguard the sanctity of this house, of this country. If we cannot do that, then we will not be doing what is expected of us. And whatever we are doing for the 48 million Ugandans out there. And in a special note, I really want to thank Parliament of Uganda for passing that law. I want to thank the religious leaders. I want to thank judiciary for upholding the decision. I want to thank the president for assenting to that law. That shows you how much he values the family values. And I want to thank all the Ugandans. Honorable members, there is an outcry, much as we passed the law on fisheries. But the people have continued being mistreated around the waters. I got a team yesterday that somebody was killed in Ingo landing site, a fisherman. As government, maybe you need to come in and see the enforceability of the law that was passed by this house. Because the people who are being killed are our people. Those are the same people who will vote for us tomorrow. So we need we need a response to that effect. Because it is not only in one island that they are complaining, not only in one fishing area. You will find that Honorable Mulimba, he just can't talk because he's a minister. But he is suffering down there in his place. But we'll need a response from government to that effect. Today we are going to look at the tax bills. And as you are aware, we are in the tail end of the budgeting. And remember, I told you, we've already gazetted 13th for budget reading, 13th June. So we should be able to look at where we are getting the money from for us to be able to fund the budget that we are talking about. Let's look at where money is coming from, and then we will appropriate that money effectively. We will want to get a statement from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Chief Diplomat. Some of us may not be diplomats, but we will want to get a statement from the Chief Diplomat, and we'll also hear from the leader of opposition on the press. I think he has a message for the press, today being the press day. Yes, Honorable Call.
Right Honourable Speaker, on your communication, especially on the sanction, I remember I was in my constituency and I got a call from the press, especially New Vision, asking me about it. And I thought they were mistaken, because to the best of my knowledge, our work as Parliament of Uganda, we allocate resources to the ministries, to the Prime Minister's office, and to different departments of Uganda. And the major people who should be questioned on this issue of the iron sheet are people who are tasked with the responsibility of implementing the resources that we allocated for this particular issue. First of all, the sign that we allocated the resources is a clear sign that this Parliament is committed to solve the problem of the Karbujong people. And therefore, I was wondering how you can sanction the head of Parliament and you forget people who are in charge of implementation. In this case, the ministers, I don't have a problem when they are talking about the ministers. I don't have a problem if you could talk about the office of the Prime Minister. But how, of all things, you come to give sanction on the head of institution of Parliament? Who are the people concerned? And this issue was raised in this Parliament. The issue about who is a beneficiary should be the implementing people, not us who are concerned in monitoring what was not done rightly, and that is how the issue was brought to the concern of this one. And therefore, I think it is the right time for our Minister of Foreign Affairs and for the head of state to make sure we get serious as a country so that our sovereignty should be protected as a country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The sovereignty of this country is very important. Honorable Kitutu and Honorable Nanduta in court, but the principle of presumption of innocence still stands. Yes, the mover.
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you. You did mention that the Minister for Foreign Affairs will be making a statement. I really think it's important because this is a matter that really touches on our diplomatic relations. And for purposes of just avoiding uncoordinated troop movements, it will be important that government states its position early enough to guide the debate and discussion. Otherwise, there is a very big likelihood of creating a diplomatic imbroglio arising out of the statements that we may make. Right, Honourable Speaker, for me, at the risk of anticipating what is in the statement, at the risk, the UK has a right to sanction anybody. It's really their right. And I don't think anybody should be concerned or bothered. Let them sanction whoever they want. It is really their sovereign right. But what should also happen is that they should respect the sovereign right of other countries. Because you see, you run a risk. You run a risk. I am on procedure. You run a risk. You run a risk, Right Honourable Speaker. We run a risk. We run a risk of undermining each other. So, Right Honourable Speaker, the procedural issue I raise is whether it is not procedurally right for the Minister of Foreign Affairs to first adumbrate the position of government before this matter is debated.
Thank you. Honourable members, maybe it is good we first hear from the Minister. Sechi, let's first hear from the Minister. Procedure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In your communication, you said we have tax bills that are very important, as you enumerated. And you did say that for you don't care if they want to freeze, you don't even have a postcard, they can go ahead. If, Madam Speaker, that is your conclusion, is there, and this is the procedure issue, is there a need for government to issue a statement when one of the persons sanctioned has said she does not care? This matter is not serious. So is there a need for government to again issue a statement if you have closed the matter in that fashion?
I may be sanctioned today, tomorrow it is going to be you. It is about your country, not an Anita. Me, I can go back and be in my village. Honourable Minister, no, let's first hear from the Honourable Minister. And then, Honourable Minister, because they are going to sanction all of you, you think it is you're immune?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Permit me, pursuant to Rule 52, make a statement to the House and to public. The Republic of Uganda is a stable democracy that enjoys cordial relations with the vast majority of states in the family of nations. Our political landscape since 1996 has continued to evolve in peace and stability, bolstered by faith of its people as the hallmark of the NRM government. Our standing in the region internationally has reflected the dividends of this peace and stability. The Parliament of the Republic of Uganda reflects the legitimate voice and aspirations of the Ugandan people. It's with surprise that the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uganda learned of a statement issued on the official website of United Kingdom government on 30th April 2024, announcing the imposition of sanctions on open quotes, Ugandan politicians charged with corruption, close quote. The case referred to under the UK's global anti-corruption sanctions regime concerning two former ministers, the Honorable Goreti Kitutu and the Honorable Agnes Nandutu, represents the first time that this is applied with respect to Uganda. It glosses over the fact that the two cases mentioned had been uncovered by government's own investigative agencies and are currently being handled under Ugandan courts of law. The two on the charge sheet, therefore, remain under presumption of innocence until proven guilty. The third person mentioned in the sanctions regime is the Right Honorable Anita Mong, who is none other than the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, who has not been charged by Directorate of Public Prosecution in the above-mentioned cases. We therefore seek to find rationale for actions taken by the British government in this sanctions designation. The Minister of Foreign Affairs looks forward to engaging with the British High Commission in Uganda and indeed Government of the United Kingdom, with whom we maintain cordial relations on this matter, while mindful that sovereignty remains a cardinal principle in the bilateral relations between the two governments and nations. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, come on.
This Parliament is a member of the Commonwealth. Today, as we talk, you are the chairperson of the Commonwealth's Presiding and Speakers Conference. The action of the UK government violates the principle upon which that institution is established. This Parliament and the Association need to express their displeasure because, Madam Speaker, this sanction that is not based on any ground violates the tradition, the setting up of the institution, and it borders on the UK government violating the principle and the rules of engagement. And we, as citizens of Uganda, and who contribute to that international organization, we need to express our displeasure. We cannot only allow government to express displeasure because the taxpayers of this country contribute to that institution. And you now, you are not only the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, you are the head of the presiding officers and the Speakers Conference. And that position to which all the members of the Commonwealth accorded you because of your integrity, your sincerity, and the service you have rendered to this institution. And therefore, these sanctions questions the participation, and all Commonwealth parliaments need to raise their voice because it brings double standard of the UK government and our participation. Whereas we receive development support, but most of this development support alone to which the taxpayers of Uganda pay, this needs to be put on record. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we request the Minister of Foreign Affairs to engage the government of UK and other Commonwealth members to express our displeasure. If other countries, if it wasn't that President Museveni sometimes is very diplomatic, we would even consider withdrawing our participation in the Commonwealth Speakers Conference and institution. Because as of now, you coordinate the entire operation. How can they use, in the UK, the Conservative government do not believe in homosexuality and lesbianism. In the US, the Republicans don't believe in it. So this double standard must be rejected, and we need to communicate to the people of this country and to the world. I therefore propose that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, without wasting much time, need to engage at more high level and to express our displeasure as the Parliament of Uganda. I beg to.
Thank you. Chairperson CPA.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to, actually at first when I was raising, I wanted to put to inform Honorable, no. Same with you. That Parliament of Uganda is a member of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, and Madam Speaker is the president of the branch. For that matter, it's very important.
There's an order.
Madam Speaker, In our rules, you can only inform the person holding the floor. Is the member in order to descend on my seat where I am comfortably listening and begin informing me using Parliament?
Honorable member, he was just mentioning your name. I think he likes it because you're his MP. You're his MP, just likes your name. Honorable members, I am the chairperson of CPA, Commonwealth Parliamentary Association in Uganda. I am also the president, the speaker, the chairperson of the speakers and presiding officers of the Commonwealth Parliaments, which is comprised of 72 countries. When we invited our friends to come for CISPOC, they did not come, and because of the law, and they wrote to us that they were not coming here because of that law, unless we were ready to withdraw, and which was okay with us. We did not miss anybody, and I want the Arab world, all of them came. All of them came. And I want to thank you for the work you did when you went to the Arab world. Honorable Minister, you need a more comprehensive statement. A comprehensive statement. You get it? On this. You will find that some of these people are conflicted. The ones who are signing these documents are conflicted. And you know it. It's not a secret. They are conflicted. You know me, I'm not a diplomat, the way you may be, but you know it. Yes, Pap.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Sorry, let you.
But Honourable Speaker, that gentleman was giving information, and that information was done. And the person who was...
Pap. Let the CPA first speak, then it comes to Pap.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I started with informing, but I was informing the House anyway. But my argument was that I think the sanctions were in bad faith. For starters, being that she's the president of the branch, she's the representative of this parliament in every CPA activities, at least related to the CPA Parliamentary Association. And CPA Parliamentary Association, we are signatories to the Commonwealth Charter. Interestingly, where we all the member states made a commitment to development of freedom, development of democracy and all that. And we made a commitment. And I believe the decision of the anti-homosexuality bill was out of a democratic beliefs of our country and the parliament as such. It was not an individual decision. So I think it's in bad faith, and that's why I was supporting the Right Honourable Speaker, that the Minister brings a statement, and then we look at how best we can address this. Because going forward, for example, we have an annual general meeting in August, where she's supposed to be representing this parliament. We have another engagement in November, CPA, CPC, in Sydney, where she's supposed to represent this parliament. So how will she going to be participating with nations that do not believe in our democracy, or that are against the principles of the charter that we all subscribe to? So I think it's in bad faith, and I believe that it's important that the minister brings a statement and we find solutions and how best we can move with countries that are actually breaking the charters that they made commitments to. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Kudo, Pap.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, yesterday
Alex, I've seen you.
and the other day I attended a second African Interparliamentary Conference on Family Values and Sovereignty that is sitting in Entebbe, and I'm sure they are closing today. But I want to assure you, over the 20 countries that attended are very proud of Uganda in terms of legislation on the anti-homosexuality law. I'm a member of the Pan-African Parliament, and most of the African countries are very proud of Uganda about the case of anti-homosexuality law. So I want all of you to move with your heads high over the decision you took, because the rest of Africa is very proud of us about what we did. Right Honourable Speaker, having said that, we are also doing very badly as a nation on matters to do with the corruption. As a nation, and we all know that the way we are handling our corruption cases cannot be celebrated. This issue of Mabati was not well disposed of. It just ended in corridors, and it ended like that. Ugandans don't know who was found guilty and who was not found guilty. And it is just there lingering. And I really want to think, that's why these that wanted to get on the speaker wanted to use that. Had it been disposed of properly, probably it wouldn't have been an issue. I keep wondering why the Mabati group was bigger. I'll give you information. The Mabati group was bigger. Why did they pick only the speaker and the two? Why not the rest of the group? And the Prime Minister, there are so many ministers here who are involved. Yeah, even my friend here, Msas, was part of those. So I'm just wondering why only the speaker and the other two. So if the matter was properly disposed of, probably would be in a better situation to debate this. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, first of all, Patrick.
Madam
Yes.
Speaker, my friend here had some information to give me.
Thank you, Honorable Patrick. Information I want to give relates to the press conference that the DPP held, where she said they had investigated this matter, and according to them, the people they took to court are those they found with incriminating evidence. And they said the others, the cases, the files had been closed. That's what the DPP actually said.
Honourable members, I also want to tell you, first of all, if the Karamojong team was here, they would bear me witness. When the issue came up on the Mabati, I said, I hope the Mabati that was put at my gate, because it was dropped at my gate. The gate of my school was not part of Karamoja Mabati. And I said, if they were, I will immediately return. So when the investigation went on, I said, give the schools, government schools, give the government schools the Mabati. I came back after finding out that that was the Mabati and refunded. I was the first person, without anybody saying it, and refunded the iron sheets and said, have your iron sheets, I don't need them. Because if they are meant for Karamoja, they are meant for Karamoja, not for my place. And I've never been to any court of corruption. And who says it is only Karamoja that would need